Psalm 128. We are still in the series of the Song of Ascents, and this is another short psalm. So let's read through it and see what we can get from this psalm. But first, let's look at a verse from Psalm 119, and then we will read. So let's see here. Psalm 119 verse 52 says, I remember, Lord, your ancient laws, and I find comfort in them. So, Lord, I pray that as we read your word, that we would find comfort in your word, Lord, that we would find peace in your word, Lord, that we would trust and believe what we read and what we see, and that we would walk in it, Lord, and then we will see the results from that someday. And Lord, I pray that this psalm would be an encouragement to us as we read that. In your name, amen. So let's look at this. Psalm 128 says, Blessed are all those who fear the Lord, who walk in obedience to him. You will eat the fruit of your labor. Blessings and prosperity will be yours. Your wife will be like a fruitful vine within your house. Your children will be like olive shoots around your table. Yes, this will be the blessing for the man who fears the Lord. May the Lord bless you from Zion. May you see the prosperity of Jerusalem all the days of your life. May you live to see your children's children. Peace be on Israel. I just love the sound of that one. It's just such a beautiful, to me, a blessing. This psalm is the other psalm that is considered a wisdom psalm. So that's the first thing we're going to do is write down our category as a wisdom psalm, just as Psalm 127 was a wisdom psalm. And you're going to see some of the same themes in this one that we saw in 127. 127, we saw the theme of children being a blessing. And here we see that again in this psalm. We see fruitful vine within your house. So that was part of Psalm 127 too. So there's definitely a link between these two psalms. This psalm is talking, there's some things that I think are really cool in this psalm as we read it. So let's just kind of walk through some of the things. First of all, I want to point out that this psalm is what I would consider, the word conditional. These things happen if, okay? Blessed are all those who walk, right? Blessed are all who fear the Lord, who walk in obedience to him. So to me, this is super crucial when we're looking at this. This is talking about those who fear the Lord and those who obey him. Okay? So the rest of it flows from that concept. Blessed are those who fear the Lord, who have this this is back to that fear of the Lord, the awe, the reverence. It's that word yare that we've seen often. And I'm just going to write that over here. I'm not going to write the definition, but we've seen that word often. The fear of the Lord, it means this reverence, this respect, honor, awesome fear of God. Those people will be blessed. Those who walk in obedience will be blessed. Okay, then what he does is he goes through and talks about, like, here's the things, here's where you will see the blessing. You will see the blessing in the fruit of your labor. So I'm going to just circle this. You're going to see it in the fruit of your labor. Blessings and prosperity will be yours. So like as you work, you're going to see blessings, right? Your wife will be like a fruitful vine within your house. So your wife will be blessed like a fruitful vine within your house. That means she's going to have children. She's going to be prosperous in what she's doing. And then we see a blessing on your children. Your children will be like olive shoots around your table. Okay, so there's this beautiful blessing for those who fear God and who walk in obedience to him. So let me just kind of walk through a few points besides the ones that I marked, okay? So the one who reverences the Lord is the one that's going to have this, right? We see that. That's one of our points. Reverencing the Lord means that you are going to walk in obedience. That just should follow, right? Blessed are those who fear the Lord, who walk in obedience. See, it follows, right? If I fear the Lord, I'm going to walk in obedience to him. The vine and the olive tree. So here we see this. vine, the fruitful vine, and the olive tree, and olive shoots. And again, we have to remember, we're talking about this agricultural nation, people. So when we talk about plants and that kind of thing, it's something that they can super relate to, okay? So I'm going to read to you a couple things that I saw in commentaries that I thought was good. The first one says this: the vine and the olive tree are two of the best fruits, both together, implying that a great part of a man's temporal happiness consists in having a good wife and children. So he doesn't really list much else here, right, as far as his blessings. And then another commentary said this: olive trees take a long time to mature and become profitable. Patiently cultivated, they become quite valuable and continue to produce a profitable crop for centuries, longer perhaps than any other fruit-producing tree or plant. So I love that concept. When you think about children, right? Children, it takes a long time for them to mature. It takes a long time before you'll see, I would say, the results of raising your children to love the Lord. But then once they are walking with the Lord and they begin to produce a crop, it goes on and on. So I just think that's such a beautiful concept there. So again, keeping in mind that this is all for those who fear and who walk in obedience to him. And then the ending of this psalm right here, verses 5 and 6, is a blessing. Whenever you see that, may this happen, then we turn that into a blessing. So it basically moves you from words of wisdom to words of blessing. So what is the blessing? May the Lord bless you from Zion, and Zion being Jerusalem. May you see the prosperity of Jerusalem all the days of your life. And again, we're talking about Jewish people, so this would have been like super important to them. May you live to see your children's children. Peace on Israel. And so we see just this beautiful, again, blessing over them. And when you talk about like prosperity on Jerusalem all the days of your life, blessing on, may you see your children's children, we're talking about like the people of Israel, that they're saying, may you see blessing on the people of Israel. So I think it's a reminder for us that whatever our endeavors are in life, we want to invest in those, right? But we want to also make sure that when we're walking in the fear of the Lord and we're walking in obedience to him, all the rest flows. In due season, we will see. In due season, we will reap. And all of those things, when he's talking about the community of believers or the community of Israel, in due season, it's going to contribute to the peace of Israel. And really, when we think about the peace of Israel, let's not think about it even in terms of like the nation of Israel, but let's look at it as in terms of the body of believers, all of us being Israel. Peace will come to all of us when we're walking in the fear of the Lord and we're walking in obedience to him. So this psalm to me just really speaks strongly of not just knowing God, but obeying God. So Lord, I pray that we would be a people that fear you, that walk in awesome fear of you, that walk in reverence and honor of you, Lord, and that automatically turns into walking in obedience to you, Lord. Help us to be those who not just read your word, but walk in your word, that do what your word says, Lord. And then, Lord, I pray that as we do that, we will see results. We will see you working in our lives. Lord, I pray that you would just do a work in us, that we would be a people that do what you say. And Lord, I thank you for the blessings that will come from that as we walk in your way. Amen. Well, thank you for joining me for this psalm, and I do pray that you would be one who fears the Lord.